Today, all of us are knowing about the myamas. So without wasting any much time, I'll just go through the videos, and I think it's seen.
Yes, it is seen.
Yeah. Okay. So all of us are knowing about the myamas, and that to be when it comes down to submucous myama, one must know what are the types of myama. Once you are putting the office hysteroscope, you must know there are types of myama from grade 2 to grade 5. There may be a myamas which is just popping out from the cervical canal. So you think it is a fibroid polyp, but when you eventually you go and venture into the cavity, you found it will be a huge myama inside the cavity. So the office hysteroscopy is not just to tackle the myamas, because all of us are knowing the submucous myama has its impacts as far as the fertility point of view is considered. Because if it is too much of bigger size myama, it will distort the cavity. And when you are trying with the resection of a hysteroscopic resection of the myama, it will cause more damage, and that you must know about what to do it in a different way. Basically, the principles of a myomectomy, for as far as the hysteroscope is considered, you have to do with the bipolar resectoscope, which is now available, which taken care of the fluid overload, or for that matter, the any complications as far as we are previously was using a monopolar and the glycerin. Now we are using a bipolar resectoscope, where there is a trick where you are dealing with the myamas, whichever size of the myama. You can go with the chips. It goes from the top and it could come down to the most visible part, and then you come down to the most dependent part of the myama. As it says that you go from the tip and then you go to the base of the mountain. So it is a wise way to look of the cavity of the uterus. Think that what is the size of the myoma, and which from what point you are going to start of resection. Because if it is too much near to the ostia, or if it is having the broader base, you need to understand the good mapping prior to the hysteroscopic resection is useful, because that will give us a clear cut guidelines that you can tackle the myoma hysteroscopically, or you can do it with the assistance of the laparoscopic assistance with the hysteroscopic myomectomy. Coming down to the resection principles, the resection should be from there is a two types of a working element, maybe active and the passive blade. So whichever is you are comfortable with, whichever instrument you are comfortable with, but see to it that whatever the active element should be under vision. It should not just do a digging into the uterine cavity. So whenever you are doing a hysteroscopic myomectomy, your active electrode should be in the view, and thinking that the point of a complete myomectomy is that you need to understand if there is a grade 3 or grade 4, there is called as a pressure symptoms. If you come down to the pressure is minimized, that the myoma will be coming into the surface, and you can complete the myomectomy. Similarly, you can use this without a current. What I mean by it, if you are using a hysteroscope for a myomectomy, it's not advisable that for all the time you are using the current. In the same way, like whenever there is a place of between the two, the like a myoma and the cavity, you can use this knife as a digging tool. You can just reduce the pressure and then increase the pressure again inside the uterine cavity. So this is called as the massaging of the uterus, and this uterine massage which will cause myoma to come on the surface, and you can complete the resection. There are the different ways of taking out these chips because this is going to have obscure your vision. There is a mechanical device where you can use, or you can use just a home holding forceps to take out these particular chips out of your vision, and then you can again come into the view. Think of what kind of things are remain, and you can do again in the second sitting, or maybe in the same sitting if the myoma is too much into the uterine or into the myometrium. When you are using the resectoscope, for that matter, it is always advisable to understand what is the pressure you are using, because too much of pressure will not be helpful. Because when you are doing of a grade 3 or grade 4 myomas, if you are using too much of pressure, the myoma will not be protruded into the cavity, and half of the things will go into the missing, or you are not going to address the myoma. Secondly, about the bleeding points. If you have seen the trickle, like here, when you are seeing the trickle which is coming up, the same bipolar hook can be used to tackle the bleeding, and you can control the bleeding points. So I was talking about this particular thing. When you are doing with the myomas and then there is a bleeding, the bleeding can be tackled just to apply the pressure, or you can increase the pressure. You can complete the job, or you can use this bipolar resectoscope in order to control the bleeding point. Secondly, if this kind of a myoma, if it is too much into the uterine myometrium, you can reduce down the pressure. If I am reducing down the pressure, you can see the uterine musculature will cause there is a between the two planes. It automatically comes. The myoma will pop up into the uterine cavity, and you can take care of this particular technique. And similarly, the loop can be used as a mechanical device to dislodge the myoma from the myoma bed. So these are the one of the things that one can be taken into account. And another things which I really wanted to talk about is that the view of the resectoscope, always you should be in the view. Like if it is not in a clear view and just you are doing the resection of the myoma, you may go deeper into the myometrium and you will harm the good plane. So always stick to that. You are in the proper plane. You will be in a proper resection. And if you are thinking that if it is too much into the intramural component, you can do a 2-setting hysteroscopic myomectomy. And similarly, if you are after the finishing of the myoma, you go always look into the cavities. You need to understand what is the defect of the endometrium. If the endometrium is too much of the bipolar, even if you are using a bipolar, for that matter monopolar resectoscope, you need to understand if there is too much of damage to the underlying endometrium. It is always better that you do a relook hysteroscopy maybe after 1 month or maybe after 2 months. And this is the thing what I was talking about. If there is a bleeding, when you are doing the resection, you can control with the same bipolar resectoscope, and you can continue your procedure. Because once you are inside the uterine cavity, it is always better to complete the job and then take out the beads of a myoma. So these are the things whenever you are talking about the myoma resection. I think the better thing, that's a proper mapping of the myoma is required. Then which type of a myoma you are dealing with, you really required a 2-setting or 1 setting that needs to be understood. You need to understand that if the myoma is too much into the myometrium, it can be dealt with the 2-setting. And you can use a bipolar resectoscope for a mechanical tool also. Yeah, I hope I done with it, because I given only a resection technique. So I think there is this thing can be talked about. Thank you.